What's up, everybody? Wiser here to review the U.S. title match between Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto on January 11th edition of Raw. I must say I enjoyed this match, especially in comparison to the match they had, I want to say, in that world title tournament gimmick thing that they had. It was infinitely better than that because that match was absolutely terrible. Now, I am going to be reviewing this match, but I'm more so going to be paying attention to the things that are kind of outside of this and why a title change like this has happened. Now, it's not faulting Del Rio. It's more so about Cena and more so about the momentum that's been being built for a Kalisto. Now, the match itself. Let's talk about this match a little bit. It was your David versus Goliath match. And I did say in my entire Raw review, I kind of made a blunder. I misremembered something. I said that Kalisto won with his head-scissors DDT, which wasn't necessarily true. He went for his finisher, the gimmick Del Sol. It got countered, and then he went for a fruit roll-up, German something, blah, 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 roll-up. He won on a roll-up. Long story short, he went on a roll-up. I'm not the guy that gets paid to remember the name of moves. So, the match itself, again, it was a David versus Goliath match where Del Rio took the brunt of all of the work. He put in all of the work, and it was Kalisto's job to do all of the selling. Now, on top of doing the selling, I like the countering and evading evasiveness of Kalisto because that's what a guy his size should be doing. And if you listen to commentary well enough, they were more so putting over Kalisto the entire time. There was a mention of him being like a Rey Mysterio type of thing. And that's exactly what they've been trying to build with Kalisto all this time. They've been trying to find their guy that's going to be the face of the Hispanic part of it. They need a Hispanic face. They need, whether it be a Puerto Rican, a Dominican, or a Mexican, they need that Latin face that the Latin people can gravitate to. And this has been something that they've been trying to find dating back to Carlito. You know, because they have Rey Mysterio. Did they have Rey Mysterio at the time that Carlito first came? I don't know if Rey Mysterio was there when Carlito first came, but I know that he was there eventually. And that opened up when Rey Mysterio got there. That opened up a huge door for their Latin market. He was able to sell masks, and Rey Mysterio was huge for them internationally. But since Rey Mysterio, they haven't had anyone step up in that place. They tried it with the original Sin Cara. They tried it with Del Rio. You figure that they were going to try it with Del Rio again. But he didn't necessarily translate the way that they wanted him to. Whereas Kalisto pretty much just fell into their hands. As soon as he got to NXT, it was like, oh, this has got to be the guy. If he can talk, then we got money here. And that's the thing. The guy can talk. He's very believable. He looks like this guy looks young as fuck. But he's also got some muscle to him. Not that steroid muscle, but he got some good muscle. Got good size to him for a small guy. Or for a short guy, I should say. So it's something that the younger audience can get behind. Also, that Latin market that they're going for can get behind. Now, I want to say I personally don't know the reason why they put the belt on Del Rio. Maybe it was because they wanted to give it another shot with the whole Latin market. I don't know. Maybe they needed that big face. I don't know. He was getting over in AAA as a babyface. He was getting over in Lucha Underground as a babyface. So they figured, all right, we could bring him back in. The people would be behind him, and we could make merch on this guy. And when he first came back, he was taking on Cena. He was getting a babyface reaction. And then the next night, they let you know that he was a heel. So Cena went down because he had to do the reality TV show. Fine, got to take the title off of him. will think about putting it back on him when he returns. But here's the problem. He returned, and then he hurt himself working out. He's out for the next at least 6 months, not counting Samoan John Cena. But he's out for at least 6 months in kayfabe land. So you can't put the title back on him. We need to put this title on someone. And they've been building up Kalisto like crazy. They've been building up Kalisto since he got there. And if you look in the audience when Kalisto comes in and he does his lucha, lucha. If you just look and they pan out to the crowd all the time, you see the kids. You see the kids all doing a lucha. Now, as the adults, you don't see them doing it at all. But you see almost all of the kids doing a lucha gimmick. So you got that. So he has that audience. He has that demographic. He had that on Smash. The next thing is, what about the Latin audience? Of course he's going to. He's had that before he's even got to WWE or NXT. He's had that. Because he was already a huge name. Was he? You guys might kill me if I get this wrong. I think that he was in Dragon Gate. I might be wrong. I think he was in Dragon Gate. But if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comments. But he already had a nice following behind him there. So I think the timing was right to put it on him because he already got the endorsement on SmackDown from Cena when he had that match against Del Rio this past SmackDown. So it makes sense that they put the thing on him now because they wanted to do the title change. Del Rio was supposed to be just a guy to hold the belt. He wasn't supposed to keep the belt. He was just supposed to hold the belt, keep it warm for when Cena came back, and then they put it right back on Cena. They weren't thinking to go long term with him because maybe they have other plans with the guy. So Cena goes down. Hey, we didn't have plans with you beyond this point because maybe we're working on something with you for WrestleMania. We got to put that title on someone. Who's the next hottest mid-card guy? Kalisto is hot right now. Especially for his demographic. So back to the match a little bit here. I just like the way that they worked this match. I don't necessarily agree with them going for a hurricanrana like on a later half of the match when both of these guys are pretty spent and tired. That's a move that you got to hit early in the match to get the crowd behind you where you still got all of your energy. So they kind of look a bit sloppy on that. But in that later half of the match, that's when they started getting their back and forth going. Kalisto started getting his offense in. But Del Rio, being a bigger guy, being the more aggressive guy, was proven to be a bit too much for Kalisto to overcome. But the way commentary was selling it, you just knew that Kalisto was going to be winning this title. You just knew it. It's just the way that they were building it during the match. They didn't really leave it to suspense at all. They might as well should have said, hey, Kalisto's about to win this match. Hope you guys know that, but please enjoy the rest of it. They should have just went there because they pretty much let you know. They spoiled it without spoiling it. But let alone, it was still a pretty good match. I enjoyed it. It wasn't like a fluke victory or anything like that. It was one of them chain wrestling things that happened down the end. Del Rio misses his Tree of Woe Stomp. Kalisto goes for his Gimmick Del Sol. There we go. He goes for his Gimmick Del Sol. Del Rio counters that. Then that gets countered. Then we go for a suplex reverse. Gimmick, gimmick, gimmick. 1, 2, 3. New champion in Kalisto. Now, question is this going to drive a rift between him and Gimmick Sin Cara when Sin Cara gets back? So that's the way of breaking up that tag team. I personally hope that they don't break up that tag team, but they can. It'll be fine. If they do. But I'm looking forward to see what they do with this guy because they have Rey Mysterio right there in their hands. And he's very well spoken, just like Rey was. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you guys are too. And I hope you guys like the video. I'm out of here. Peace.